Warning. The We All Have an X-Chromosome podcast contains strong language and contains themes that may not be suitable for a workplace environment or for younger listeners. We suggest wearing headphones if you choose to listen to this podcast in a workplace environment without headphones. We are not responsible for any consequences that may happen. If your 2-year-old's first word is the F-bomb, it's not our fault. Listener discretion is advised.
We are the children of Zion. We have been left here to defend humanity's right to exist. No matter what the machines believe, we belong here, at this place, at this time. And with that, I present this revolutionary love letter to those who came before. Let's go. They call me Speed Rider, but never no heat hider. But I'm digital, fighting wars no one's hit to. Matrix division, network system point 2. Called the one, the Neo, the novice, the noose. Brick Trinity will execute. Between the viral agents flagrant, engaged. No basic of state to take. Making model, which coddle the nature of humanity. Basic prevention.
Spoilers, people. Noelle is out of Facebook jail, and I've been asleep at the wheel. That's why you've been getting us a little bit later than usual. My name is Bill.
And I'm Noelle.
And this is We All Have an X-Chromosome. We are trying to go through and get things squared away, but basically with life, well, a dude is tired, and so is a bitch. And so is the non-binary version of a bitch is tired. So,
bitch is tired.
It's me, I'm bitches.
It's me, I'm a bitch.
Well, you can listen to us, bitch, when you go off and check out our website at www.xchromosomepodcast.com. That's where we have all the connections to our social media, be it Twitter, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, which, like I just mentioned, Noelle has been released from Zuckerberg Maximum Penitentiary.
Yes, Zuckerberg Supermax, because I was in for telling
destroying white people?
A white male that, what's the word? My brain is completely gone. Oh, I told him he was being willfully ignorant.
Oh, ignorant. How nice. That's a horrible, horrible crime, Noelle. You should be ashamed.
Right?
Because he could have probably follow back with you and say how you should be raped and not get punished at all, because that's how Facebook operates. And that's how social media operates, it seems, pretty much. So I started a new class, and I've been sleeping too much in response. But just to point out the fact that being a woman sucks, a friend of mine got doxxed for the third time.
Third time?
The third time. So we can't find the person that it keeps doing it, but it's a third time. They are trying to go through and basically put out the fact that, their real name and their real occupation and all that type of real stuff, when they have a pen name and alter ego that is more on the sex side because of, they're a writer of erotic novels, and they like to promote their books by occasionally throwing up a naughty picture or whatnot, and basically just being a hoe. She would say it herself. But she keeps that life separate from her real life. So, which people do that. That makes sense. But this time I was the one that found the guy, except I just don't know who the person is. I just found where they were trying to dox them. So, yeah, my friend had to go through and delete all of her content again, just in case someone had stumbled upon it and gave it to someone that could do some damage. So, so assholes suck, and it sucks being a woman, and I do feel bad for women that are put up in this situation, because if I got my stuff handled and got exposed, the worst case scenario is going to be, he talks about feminism, but he writes this smutty shit. Oh my God. And people would blow it out of proportion, and I'd be a dude, and I'd just be like, okay, I'll just keep my head down and it'll blow over. It's not like I'm doing a Harvey Weinstein or anything like that. But with women, it's like career ending and life changing and things like that, because people fucking suck. So yeah, that was fun. But we're going through and seeing what we can try to accomplish because me and Noelle are both exhausted. Last time we were planning on doing this, we were planning on recording last Friday. I slept through until the next day because my alarms just wouldn't wake me up. And even Noelle right now is a bit on the exhausted side too. So we're going to try to get something put through. To start, you wanted to go through and speak about...
I do, but I don't have the energy to give missing and murdered Indigenous women
the proper respect they're due.
Yeah, and I want to really take extra time and go back and watch that.
Well, let's go through.
There's a bunch of stuff that I kind of want to go back and look over.
All right, well, let's go through some recent news. Well, the CDC has said that if you've gotten vaccinated, you could walk around indoors and you should be fine. But they didn't answer the major question. How do we know that we won't be mistaken as a Republican if we're walking around indoors without our mask on?
Oh, but that's why anybody who's vaccinated who is probably going to still wear a mask.
That has been basically the question on the minds of the vaccinated. It's like, I actually have this option now and I can't do it because people suck. Someone went through and said the best way to deal with someone that was talking about vaccinations and masks is to point out, I understand your feelings about that, but what you should be worried about is the drones and the facial recognition software that's around. Because all these drones and cameras and things like that are going to find you and they're going to take copies of your face so they can track you a lot easier than before. And the only way that you get around that is by wearing a mask and not going out as much because that's what can go through and fool everything. So it's not about the vaccines or anything like that. It's about the other things that are around you that can cause issues. So if you're worried, that's what you should worry about. And I'm going to start using that more often than not. But I've also been on the world of TikTok lately, and TikTok has a pretty good amount of resources to talk about things such as ADHD and other mental health issues with experts and amongst other things. But one TikToker, I'm going to try to pull up his name and his account. He's a combat vet that was in Afghanistan, and he has PTSD. He's disabled because of everything that he went through. He was a combat medic in Afghanistan. And his primary thing to point out is that, look, we can't even track our own troops. How are we going to track people with a vaccine? There were times when he was in the field and they almost mortar attacked our own people because they weren't sure who was on the other side. And supposedly they have top software to track these things, which always breaks down and doesn't work. So if they can't go through and they can't track our own troops' movements to make sure that they're safe and everything like that, how in the hell are they going to track people with microchips in a vaccine if there were even microchips in the vaccine? But it's interesting to go through and hear thoughts and debunks and things of that nature through a bunch of 60-second clips, so to speak. So that has been an interesting plus on that matter. It almost makes me want to make a podcast TikTok and go from there. But yeah, that's been interesting because really what it boils down to is that everybody wants everything to be normal, and we can't have everything normal until everybody goes off and gets their vaccine, wears their mask, and shuts the fuck up.
Oh my God, it's Reddit. I can't handle this.
Oh, you're talking about Vanessa's information?
Yeah.
All right. So the Reddit link that you saw, that was just a link to there's another link in there that goes there.
Reddit makes me cry, but yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna say the thing because it's terrible. There's a petition in Brisbane.
Yep.
To encourage a restaurant to change its name and racist menu items. It is an Asian themed restaurant, shall we say, but circa 1940.
The link that was on the Reddit goes to an Instagram post. The restaurant is called Ling Ling Restaurant in Brisbane.
Yeah, I'll let the white guy say that shit.
Yeah, so this is white guy getting away with saying things that he's reading on the internet from of the comic, so to speak. This is from the Instagram account rebrand _ Lingling Lingling SBNE. So basically, it's an account about rebranding this type of thing. Why Lingling causes harm to Asian people. And it's got a comic of a guy eating. Hi, could I order the hardcore Asian prawn? Oh, with an extra side of the happy ending. For drinks, I'll have the faux king champ, and let's add another suck cocktail to that. Ugh. Sir, do you also want the soup bowl called the Me So Horny?
I hate it. Can we stop? I'm so angry. How is this okay?
I'm not going to read any more of the puns, but I am going to read the second part of the comic setup because it's actually got good information to explain what's going on. The hypersexualized language has a dark history and is connected to all things like past military occupation in the Asian nations, e.g., Vietnam War, Philippine-American War, World War II, the Page Act of 1875 in the U.S., Stanley Kubrick's 1987 film Full Metal Jacket. These harmful stereotypes and ahistorical beliefs builds on anti-Asian sentiment, perpetrates the fetishization of Asian women, increases the criminalization of women in sex work, reaffirms that the West's perception of Asian women as sex objects, and that entitlement is granted to ownership and possession of Asian women's bodies. They do go through, and on that, I'll be posting the Instagram post because it's a multiple panel comic that they're doing that. But it gives examples from the menu.
I mean, it's an infographic more than a comic. Yeah. And it goes into why all of it is terrible.
I start to question, do I exist for reasons other than to be objectified, sexualized, and exploited? Instead of using entree and mains, they gave other examples of other basic bullshit, which is also the desexualization of Asian men on top of the sexualization of Asian women. So both genders are getting hit with this. There's a petition to go through and
all
get
of
things,
the disgusting. Ugh.
It goes about through the use of the broken English, and it's got a petition to sign and share. I'm going to go through and post this quickly onto Twitter, and so people will know that they need to look at this and
loose the tweet hounds.
Pretty much, yeah. Release the tweet hounds. But yes, that is fucking horrible. And the thing is, it's like Nessa is pointing out that most people are like, most are like, it's funny. Why can't they take a joke? And Fortitude Valley, where this restaurant is where it is literal Chinatown in Brisbane. So that's bullshit that needs to be stopped. In other words,
Comments on the thread are the point.
Exactly.
It's not funny. Never funny. Negative racial stereotypes are never funny, says the half-Irish girl, because they're not funny.
So one of the last bastions of conservative sense got removed from her post to basically completely try to Trumpify the House Representatives. Liz Cheney has lost her post. It sounds like it might have cut out.
Okay, because I was ranting. But that's okay. But you've moved on to Liz Cheney, which is another thing I'm angry about. I have very little in common with Liz Cheney except skin tone and chromosomal assignment, and I'm mad for her. It's the thing I mentioned as a grim joke to a patient of mine was, have they forgotten who her daddy is?
Yep.
Like, where's Dick? And because I'm sure Dick is out there somewhere, getting names and creating files. I just personally, and I don't know if this is because my husband is from New Jersey or not, but my first instinct when it comes to the daughter of a man who casually shoots his best friend in the face, I wouldn't mess with her. I would be afraid of what her daddy was going to do. So watching the GOP tear itself apart and reform into a cult of fascists and can't pick a side except, the sound of his own voice, but it's a libertarian for you. That's the only joy I've had in 2021.
You've heard the latest, right? Are threatening to form a new party.
Ooh, oh, that's so exciting. this in from the spouse is home all day desk. The anti-Trump Republicans are threatening to form their own party. Finally, we have a third political party, and that is going to change politics as we know it.
Maybe. They're basically trying to regroup as the Republican Party and force the Trump Republicans into being the useless third party.
Well, not the useless third party. We want all the fascists in one, so we know where to send the feds. That's really the whole goal here.
Or the smart bomb.
No, we don't smart bomb anybody, especially if they live next door to people we don't want to smart bomb.
That's why it's a smart bomb.
No!
Because you wait.
I think it would just be easier to arrest them all.
Look, at this particular point, I'm about ready to greenlight Project In.
Republican Representative Louis Gohmert of Texas took to the House floor Friday afternoon to downplay the violent insurrection that took place on January 6th.
Oh, that's
mostly claiming that there
gaslighting
is
motherfucker. Oh, Jesus Christ.
there is no evidence that the insurrectionists were armed. There's no evidence, as there has been said on January 7th, that this was an armed insurrection, except for the 5 people that died.
There's no evidence that it was armed, except the endless amounts of pictures and video. Oh my God, this text, I can't.
The life that we don't want. Another thing that they're talking about because of the TikTok that I enjoy is there's a bunch of Republicans that are like, where's your president now? I don't see your president doing anything. Followed by a bunch of liberals going, yeah, you want to know something? Because we don't worship our president and we expect him to do his job, not just show his face to the camera every 5 seconds and throwing a temper tantrum on Twitter every other hour. So, yeah, if Biden's in the back doing his work like a president's supposed to, great.
Yeah.
I'm
super excited that he's not.
He's trying to get things done. He's not trying to showboat getting things done.
Yes.
Because every time Trump met with Pelosi or anybody else, it lasted 10 minutes with him walking out of that room because that was his way of negotiating his tantrums.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
it's a shitty way of negotiating.
Meanwhile, Biden is doing things that he needs to do in the back, getting his right people to talk that need to talk, and going from there.
He's delegating. Also on the subject of dumb shit.
Go ahead.
Because I'm speed scrolling through Facebook because I got a lot to catch up on, kids. The trunk full of plastic bags full of gasoline.
You're talking about the gas crisis that was done because of the ransomware attack.
Quote unquote crisis.
Yeah, the quote unquote crisis. I saw a photo of a woman at a Wawa filling up a Rubbermaid container with gas.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, what the fuck are you going to do with that? People are going nuts because of, oh my God, I'm going to run out of gas. Let me stock up on gas. It's toilet paper, but more volatile. I'm waiting for someone's house to go through and get burnt down because they stocked up on gas and then something happened that made a garage go woof. Because I seriously doubt these people know how to store this stuff right for a long enough time.
In a Rubbermaid tote is not how to store gas safely.
Not at all. Other house news, that QAnon witch keeps on trying to go through and hassle AOC.
Oh yeah, that's...
On Wednesday afternoon, Georgia Republican Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene sought to confront Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez outside the House, shouting that the New York Democrat didn't care about the American people and asking, why do you support terrorists and Antifa? On Friday morning, CNN's K-File reported that this wasn't the first time Greene has targeted AOC. In February 2019, before she won her congressional seat, Greene went to AOC's congressional office and taunted the congresswoman and her staff through the mail slot in the door. Greene told AOC to get rid of your diaper and called AOC's office daycare. Asked about the videos on Friday morning, AOC said this of Greene. This is a woman that's deeply unwell and clearly needs help, and her kind of fixation has last death that has raised concern for other members as well. And so, I think that this is an assessment that needs to be made by the proper professional, which is quite a statement from one member of Congress to make about another, even two as ideologically opposed as MTG and AOC, which makes me sad because MTG, I think of Magic the Gathering, and now it's been tainted by this witch.
No, No, because it's M, Magic the Gathering. MTG, all caps, is this bitch.
But while Georgia went through and did get 2 Democrats elected for the Senate, now Georgia, with all their new laws, which hopefully will get put to light up the chain, they need to get rid of this woman. So do your job, do your job again, Georgia. Because that's where the long play is. It's just trying to go through getting as many Trump supporters into the House as possible. So when we start going about the time to get things set for your vote, we're going to keep going and telling people to get set for the vote, because 2022, we're going to have we could possibly have new reps and everything like that. We need to keep what we do have and clear out some of the garbage from the right wing, because it's just fucking sucks. And I know there's going to be like other people like Ted Cruz that are going to be up for election again, I think. So people need to start building up so we could try to, and it's not just going to be about money either, people. It's about trying to get people motivated to vote. We learned in the last election that no matter how much money the Democrats draw, if they don't know how to do anything with the money to draw, they're not going to win. McConnell and Graham were both outfunded in the last election. They both won.
Got to go put ballots in boxes.
Do whatever you can to get the vote out and actually have people vote. So something that I learned, which I realized that I should have known for all my time, is that using the term conflict for the Palestinian occupation isn't the proper thing to say, because it's not a conflict. It's an occupation.
It's super one-sided. It is super complicated, and we need to do a bunch of research and come back to that topic, because it's super layered. But my hot of the source of the problem is that a bunch of Europeans seized land from the indigenous population and gave it to somebody else, like Europeans do.
Yep, but yes, it's something that I learned, and I'm trying to go through and make sure that I keep that in my database so I don't keep on saying conflict. So people can learn. You just have to go through and be willing to listen. No matter how much your ADHD or anything like that tells you it's not time to listen, it's time to play Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. It's always time to play Mass Effect 3 for you, right?
Especially now that Legendary came out today, so I'm looking at Mass Effect 1 basically just got like a new fresh paint of graphics. So it's like, ooh, pretty. And it's triggering all like the actual dopamine parts of my brain. It's like, ooh, and I don't have to worry about not missing with my sniper rifle, because they actually made it so that you could hit things early on. But yeah, it's things that you have to go through and look into. People need to at least read some type of news every day.
Mm-hmm. Read the news. And vet your sources while you're reading the news.
And I'm going to say read the news. Video and watching the news is great and all that. It could possibly give context, but literally stop and read an article, because you'll be able to get your own context when you're going through in the reading and not be moved by a talking head. So if someone gives you a direct quote, you'll be able to read the direct quote and go from there. And if you want to find the source of the quote, you can. Usually the source is linked to a video. However, like Noelle says, look at your sources, vet them, because not all sources are created equal. So do you have any good news, Noelle?
Well, now that I'm fully vaccinated and a lot of my photographers are fully vaccinated, I've gotten some shoots done, and I will be retooling my personal Patreon as well. I've done a lot of thinking. So next month is going to be super fun. I'm going to reintroduce the podcast to one of its hosts, that being me, because the pandemic has been a year of sitting and thinking and dwelling within my flesh prison.
Right.
And it's been a pretty cool journey, and I'd like to talk about it.
We should go through.
I'd like to go ahead.
We should do like backup episodes like we did originally with the Vicarious Identity, to just reaffirm the host stuff.
Yeah, I mean, fresh start, fresh administration. I'm a more authentic me. You're a more authentic you, because you finally admitted you're a writer.
Bill Malvasi is not a writer.
Just because you have a pen name doesn't mean you're not a writer.
We'll get to that when we go through and redo the interview process with that.
My dear author friend uses a pen name, has published everything under a pen name to this point, and is finally publishing something under her actual name in the near future. I'm super excited for her.
Well, I'm getting a tattoo.
You talked about the tattoo.
Yep. So I'm getting my consultation done on Sunday and see what it's going to cost me. So I got recommendations for the tattoo artist. So it's like people I know that have been tattooed by said person. So it's like, all right, well, that's a good thing. I don't have to just try to look at some tattoo art and go, okay, maybe they'll be a good fit. So yeah, life is interesting. And the primary reason I'm getting a tattoo is because supposedly for me to be able to effectively date in this brave new world, it's not that I'm fat, it's not that I'm bearded, but I'm missing the tattoo. I have to have all three, supposedly. So I'm getting something that I think will work because with my ever-changing 23andMe thing that they update every time they get new people for the DNA, I'm turning more and more Irish as people that are related to me get put into the system.
You're not turning more and more Irish. You're discovering how Irish you are.
Well, before this, I always said 50% Italian. How wrong was I? So yeah, I'm getting something based off the Morgan onto my left forearm. And basically the only thing that I've been told is like, yep, as long as you follow the instructions, and it's gonna hurt like fuck if you sleep on it. And I'm like, thankfully I sleep on my stomach, so that should be a help. But yeah, nothing really I was able to find that was good news, unfortunately, because good news has been few and far between. But I think that we'll go through and wrap it up there just to make sure that we get something out, because in 2 weeks we'll be better prepared.
Yes.
But we need to get something out just so you all know that we're not dead. And
we're not dead. We're just tired.
We're just tired. Seriously, there's been 3 nights this week that I've gone to bed at 5:30 p.m. and not woken up until the next morning. And I'm like, I just wasted 3 whole evenings that I could be getting stuff done. And now I'm going to be wasting another half an evening playing Mass Effect and drunkenly reading smut for my other account that I don't match with the current account because I'm trying to keep a separation. Because that one has 500 followers on Twitter. So people like their smut.
Sex workers of the world unite.
Yep. All right.
Smut writers are sex workers.
One of these days, I'm going to try to get a good thing figured out how to get some of these writers I know onto the podcast.
And get the intersectionality of sex work and erotic fiction and, doing your homework and queerness, and we'll think of something.
Right. But a lot of them are under names that they might not want a voice attached to. So I have to be careful and sneak it in without them knowing that it's me.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, my name is Bill.
And I'm Noelle.
And we all have an X-Chromosome. Again, visit our website at xchromosomepodcast.com.
And thank you so much to our patrons. We could not do this without you. We couldn't.
Thank you for sticking around through the whole entire
everything. We love being able to pay our editing staff. We love being able to afford to get decent news articles. I've actually been digging through the Washington Post. I've been reading their Post Most Headlines newsletter just about every day. And we can do that because of you, and it helps generate deep dive topic ideas.
Yeah, we got the list of deep dive topic ideas. Now it's just more the fact of having the energy to dive.
And the time. I mean, I would love to be able to have time to do research or hire someone to do the lit review and then present me with a summary of stuff that I have pulled.
Because ADHD is fucked.
I mean, I can read it all, but I have a job, unfortunately, and Bill has a job and school. So deep dive research is not something I can really block off huge amounts of time for, which is what I would have to do with my ADHD. If I'm going to get into a topic, I need to spend a week doing it.
Yeah, it's that executive dysfunction that's the issue.
To defend humanity's right to exist. No matter what the machines believe, we belong here, at this place, at this time. And with that, I present this revolutionary love letter to those who came before. Let's go. They call me Beat Rider, but never known Heat Hider. But I'm digital, fighting wars no one's hit to. Matrix Division Network System .2. Called the one, the Neo, the novice, the noose. For Trinity will execute. Between the viral agents flagrant, engaged, most basic of state to undertake. Making model which coddle the nature of humanity. Basic profanities into the insanity. skies. The sun shines down on our faces before descending into hell's traces. We can't replace this. EMP's ready to be unleashed. Nebuchadnezzar slipstreaming like a beast. Oracles architecting a congregated feast. String them up like a martyr and will know peace. Blotto pointers don't see the message. Too busy look at the cameras, judgmental dresses. The siblings graduate could only be an epic, but this won't be regarded cause their hands back it. No matter your opinion, machines pouring in. Guns blazing, Zion needs saving. Humanity crazy. On us, we can blame it. Life on tubes, babies wasted. Human embryos in a slave ship. In a slave ship. But down to the words, their bones, their purpose. Lift up the human spirit, the soul. It's worth it. For Zion, we fight on. For Zion. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. For Zion. Son, Holy Ghost.
Now that you pass it, I think they getting bloated. They gas and they show it. Well, time to get reloaded. More Sonic than Neo and me and Alpha come and take this and make this so colorful. You think this was Animatrix? When you hear this style, yeah, you best go ahead and take a whiff. Because once we're done, you feel more blended than Agent Smith. Business by day, hacker by night, party mullet time. Slow it down before you stop. Bullet rhyme. Tried to take it, the world was fake-ish. Back in time, the machines had made this. Even if the world could get no faker, we got a crew, Morpheus, Trinity, and the key maker. Never fail to neglect through all the fun. There will always be a chosen one. If you got a high rank diploma, I'll disable you even if I fall into a coma.